Hey guys, this will be a short video about crossing Israel and Egypt border. Taba is the border crossing point which you can walk through or you can drive through. So we went from Israel to Egypt. So we went from Eilat to Taba, and hopefully this video will be helpful. There's not a lot of information about it, and honestly, we were a little bit like concerned if it's gonna go well. So I just want to share, the experience we had. So first of all, if you're going from Israeli side, you need to get to the border crossing point. It costs about like 40 to 60 shekels if you want to take a taxi, or you can take a bus. I'll link some, I'll link the egg to the website where you can check the buses for the Israeli side. So you come up to this passage, and then there is an officer who asks you a couple of questions about what were you doing in Israel, where are you going, and then they do the luggage check the same way like they do in the airport, really. Then you go to the next building. In this building, when you go in here on the right side, there will be a lot of, like desks or kiosks. And there you need to pay 115 shekel to the cashier, either in cash or by card, or you can also do it in advance online. In that case, you'll have to pay 106 shekels. Then once you're done with this, you proceed, and then there are kind of like checkout desks where you need to obtain an exit permit. So, Israel no longer stamps the passports, as far as I know, and then they give you like this entrance and exit permit. And they, like the desk looks like checkout desk at a shop or at a grocery shop. You just scan your passport, and then this kind of like small piece of paper is being printed. And then there is just like one more step. There is a person who will check your passport and your entrance permit, your exit permit, will ask you a couple of questions, and then that's it. On the Israeli side, you are done, and then you exit to Egypt. So when you open the door, pretty much you're already on the Egyptian side. You'll see this sign. What you'll do, you'll need to walk to a large hall, and then so when we entered, there were a bunch of people who were like, okay, give us your passport. What they do, they actually fill out the entrance card, which is very basic, like you can do it yourself, but they kind of do it for you, and they don't tell you that you can do it yourself. So you think like you have to, and then you have to tip them like $1, $2, something like this. So we did not know that we can do it ourselves, so they did for us. We tipped them. I mean, it's not a big deal, it's just like $2. But just be aware, you can also do it on your own. You don't have to use these people's services, because they never tell you, really. They kind of do it and then they ask for money. Then I couldn't take picture, or maybe I could. I just was kind of afraid to make a picture, but this is how the whole looks like for the Egyptian side. So you come in here. So here there's the desk with this entrance, like blue forms, which you can fill out yourself, or there will be like 3 guys here who can help and fill it out for you if you tip them. So you take this form, you go over here. So there are 2 desks here where there is the passport control. But mind that over here, there is also a bank if you want to exchange money, because you'll need money for, the border fee for the Egyptian side. Plus, if you want to get some cash before you go out, that's a great place. Like it looks pretty good, rates were nice. So make sure like you use this bank over here. And then you go to the passport control. There's 1 desk here, 1 desk here. So they ask you a couple of questions like where are you going, where you plan to stay, blah, blah, blah. And then they check your visa, or they give you like a Sinai stamp, and then you proceed further. Just like one comment here. First of all, I don't know what is your passport. So the rules may be a little bit different for you than they are for me, for example, right? And then one thing is I got a Sinai stamp because we were just in the Sinai region. We never went to Cairo, or, we never left Sinai region. And it was like a trip just like 10 days. So there are 2 conditions how you can get a Sinai stamp, at least for my passport. So please check this information for yourself. So your stay is up to 14 days, and you do not plan to leave Sinai. So you will only be in Sinai region. Then you only get the Sinai stamp, and you don't need an Egyptian visa. If you go, let's say, going to Cairo, or you need, like you're staying over 14 days, you need to apply for Egyptian visa. I'll leave a link below. And Egyptian visa, I think, costs about 25 US dollars. So I didn't have to have that. Then after that, so once you go through the passport control, there will be another guy here, and he'll tell you, hey, you'll need to pay this much at the exit. And he'll tell you, which way to go. So you exit this building, this big one, and then you walk maybe, I don't know, like 250 meters, and there will be a small kind of like kiosk at the exit where you'll need to pay 405 Egyptian pounds. And then pretty much like that's how it looks like, this kiosk. And then here there's information about the nearest cities and stuff. And so you give the money, they give you like some papers, and then at the exit there are taxi drivers, and the Hilton is like 3 minutes walk from this place. And then that's how it looks like. There is a bench here, there is a kiosk here. There was not a lot of line when we were crossing, and you see there's already ads about how to get from Taba somewhere else. So just like want to share a couple of things. So from my experience, so people on the Israeli side are quite strict. They don't smile. They can come across a little bit rude, but like they're just strict. That's how they are. I'm not saying everyone, but like, just from our experience. And then very important. So whenever you are on the Israeli side, do not ever try to bribe people or, flirt or make jokes. It's all very serious. You can go to prison if you try to bribe or, if you behave somehow inappropriately. So be very serious, be very, focused, and all should be fine. Nobody was rude, like everybody was super nice. It's just how they are. They are quite strict. They don't tend to smile. This should not put you off. Then on the other hand, people on the Egyptian side, I would say way more smiley, way more chatty, they make jokes and stuff, but also they are quite pushy, like, so that's their culture. That's not good and bad. Just, be prepared for that. The whole process was, I think, around like 11:30 in the morning, on, I think, Saturday or something. And it was in March or April. So, I would say it depends a lot. Sometimes it may take longer, sometimes it's shorter. For us, it was super quick. It took probably 20-25 minutes from the beginning to end. The whole experience was very good. We were really freaking out before we went because, like, we've never been to this part of the world. There's not a lot of information about it. So overall, it was a great experience, and I would not even be afraid to do it on my own, like in the future. I think it's overall very well organized experience, but I've heard, different things. Now regarding fees, so again, I paid 115 shekel, $32 for the border fee on the Israeli side, $14 for the border fee on the Egyptian side. I did not need visa for myself. But like that may not be the case for you. So people I was traveling with, they had to do a visa which was costing, I think, $25, but they were planning to go to Cairo and I was not. So for me, I only had Sinai stamp. And then again, like on the Egyptian side, when you enter, we got people to help us with the form, and we tipped them like $2 or $3, something like this. So total for me, it was like about $48. Again, it depends on your passport. If you need Egyptian visa, you'll need to add the cost of Egyptian visa to this amount as well. And mind, this is according to like March 2023. So, prices may change. So please update the information. Again, I'm not an expert in this field. I'm just sharing my experience. Then from the border, I mean, like, it was super hard to get any information about how to get from the border. We needed to get to Neveba, and it was quite complicated to understand like how the transport system works in Egypt. But you can book a private transfer from Bookaway. You can get also like taxi or private transfer from this website called kivitaxi.com. There's also like a website called 12Go, which offers some shuttle buses. And also there's this website which allows you to book bus to Cairo. They don't go everywhere, so mind that. Like, for example, they wouldn't go to Neveba or, to Sharm el-Sheikh or some other places in Sinai. But the problem is that they don't accept foreign cards. So it means like you can buy the ticket on the spot, which we did not use, to be honest. Like, we were kind of freaking out. But I know one of my friends who lives in Israel, so he actually tried this experience and he said it was very interesting. It was like $2 and it was like the oldest bus you can actually see with like a TV on it, and it was quite fun. But it was also like 5 a.m. and the bus I think only goes like once a day at like very early hour. But also I can't tell much about it. I'm sorry, like we didn't use this. So yeah, that was all. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, or if I can help you with something else, please leave the comments below. I'll leave all the links in the description. And I hope this was helpful. Again, like there was not enough information about this border crossing experience. So I hope this video helps you with your journey.